Next up, we have Stewart from Kerberos Productions. They've done some PC games such as Fort Zombie and Sword of the Stars. Yes, which is awesome. They actually have some prizes of that franchise that we will be giving away later at ticket prizes after the break. But if you want to come up and do your thing, so welcome, Stewart.
So, just as a quick show of hands, is anybody familiar with Sword of the Stars? Anybody strat gamer, old school, Master of Orion type brain? Okay. Who says PC gaming's dead? Wait.
Your aspect ratio is spot on, sir.
Fantastic. Okay. Thank you. So, I was at a bit of a loss to.
The podium's cool, guys.
The podium's robotized. When I was invited to come out here and talk to you guys, I was at a bit of a loss. I mean, obviously the root of all this is the guys at RvB, and of course the root of all that is Bungie's works and all that. So I wasn't quite sure exactly what you guys would be interested in hearing, but in retrospect, when I was kind of rifling around, I realized that to give you some quick background. I moved out here to Vancouver about 12 years ago and joined the industry, and about 6 years ago a bunch of us peeled off of Rockstar Vancouver because at the time we had finished a couple of there's a couple of teams, and our team was responsible for Homeworld Cataclysm, and we did a Disney game, Treasure Planet Battle at Procyon, which was two guys at Disney who had managed to launch some sort of initiative to make games that weren't, Winnie the Pooh, ABC 1, 2, 3, and the top end of the games that were selling better than Winnie the Pooh, ABC 1, 2, 3. So we made kind of an in-betweener RTS game. So our team was very much steeped in PC space strategy titles. Rockstar bought us, our company, Barking Dog Studios, to which we said, awesome, what are we going to do? They said, well, figure something out. And we threw ideas at them like, what about Grand Theft Auto 1880? They said, that's stupid. And at the time it was quickly heading towards, we were just going to be a bunch of brains that they'd throw at any old problem without kind of paying attention to the pedigree of the team. And so a bunch of us weren't too happy with that. We were actually losing people at that point because they were getting fed up and burnt out. So a bunch of us left and formed Kerberos Productions. That was 6 years ago. And about 4 years ago, the project we worked on, it was our own baby, Sword of the Stars, which we went out the door and decided we were going to try and go back to kind of the cool days of 4X gaming, but kind of updated. We felt things were kind of heading in a direction where people were making the same old, and we're making more and more spreadsheety type games. And we were going to go a different way that, we're sitting around with these high-powered PCs, why can't people, play more impressive combat, etc. So we made Sword of the Stars, which was good timing in that our thinking matched up with the Total War series, that you could do a turn-based strategy thing, and then when it went to combat, you would go to 3D in real time and all that. So that, for those of you not familiar with our game, is it in a nutshell. And when we released the game, the other problem with 4X titles is there's not a lot of room for narrative. It's just taking over stars and doing lots of cool stuff, but there's not a lot of room for putting in a single player kind of campaign, which is the normal place to put in a lot of narrative, tell a lot of story, which to us was a big drawback in that we were also trying to create a game with alien races in it that were kind of fleshed out. They weren't just a mask on top of a bunch of numbers. good at lasers, bad at engines, that sort of thing. So we kind of examined a number of ways to try to impart that in the game. Some of them were funny little images, just because we like the old Space Word Ho type days and all that, when there was a bit of a sense of humor to the game. Some of it was the author we hired, Aaron Dembo, wrote, well, what amounted to pages and pages and pages of background history on these alien races that you never see as aliens. You see their ships and all that mostly in the game. And this is me coming around full circle to today. One of the things, a mistake / awesome thing I did was I said, it's kind of funny, all these guys doing all these cool little movies on that, like RvB and all that. Who says we can't make one for our game and just throw it out to the fans? And in my head, I thought that would be like a 1-minute little thing. At that point, I was cutting together little trailers for our game and all that. To which the CEO and our writer said, "That's awesome." She then proceeded to write 12 minutes worth of stuff, which ultimately we got down to 6, which I'm going to show you here today. So it's not merely pandering when I say that there is some connection here that, as fans back then of Red vs. Blue, that we kind of looked at what they did, and even though obviously we're using our own engine, well, there's advantages to using our own engines. It allowed me to go to a program and say, I need a camera move that isn't in the game, to which everybody's like, well, then that's a waste of time and energy. And to which I said, I really want it, which is not something you normally can get out of. Well, it's good to be the boss, is basically what it comes down to. So yeah, I think what I was going to do here, I was going to show you a bunch of videos, and you were this close to me just running this awesome 10-minute promotional video I found for a Ghostbusters pachinko game, but
Do it. We have time.
if we have to kill time, I'll find it and I'll show it to you. But right now, what I've got is the first thing we put out was a trailer. I didn't bring that. What I brought was the most recent one. The game's 4 years old, which is unusual because it means it should have died sales-wise about 2 years ago at best. But there's a lot of people still finding the game. There's a lot of people still loving what we did. And what happened is over the last 4 years, we had the root game and 3 expansions. And we've just recently wrapped that up into what we're calling the Complete Collection. Which would be great, except that somewhere in the middle we switched publishers, and the previous publishers had put out the Ultimate Edition, which turns out to now be the Penultimate Edition, and prior to that the Collector's Edition. So it's a little confusing for people. We're now at the point where we've bundled together everything. It just came out Friday in stores. It's the first time the root of the game has been available in box form, because we've been a very digital download kind of game for a while now. So I got a trailer for that, just to give you a sense of the game and all that. But let's start with that. The only thing I will say is that, wow, I didn't realize I was telling you guys I had a lot of 80s commercials.
Awesome. Woo-hoo!
Ghostbusters, woo! You ever find yourself, this may just be me, I was watching like a Manhunter, and he's walking through the grocery store with his son and explaining to his son how he gets into the head of a killer, and it's very solemn and somber. I'm the idiot there going, Mr. T cereal? Gremlin cereal! Ooh, strawberry bright cereal! Anyways, so I'll start with the trailer I just made for the